Well, next tonight, the manager of Luton's blood donation centre is urging more people to come forward and donate.
Thousands more donors are needed in our region over the next year. The vital supplies are used to help people who lose blood because of things like road collisions or going into surgery. Sophie Wiggins has this.
One blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. It's a reality that Emma Martin, who runs the Luton Donation Centre, knows all too well. 7.5 years ago, Emma's partner Maggie had a bad bleed after giving birth to their second daughter, Jessica. She was rushed into theatre and needed several blood transfusions.
I was just thinking, I cannot be a single mother. I'm not ready for this. I need her to be with us. And if blood hadn't been readily available for Maggie, then it would have taken a lot longer for her to recover, and possibly not at all. So if the blood's not on the shelf for people who have road traffic accidents, post-surgery, it will cost people lives, unfortunately.
Emma's now part of a huge mission to encourage more people to donate. They need 17,000 new donors here in the east of England in the next year, and they also need to recruit 1 million donors nationally over the next 5 years. And they're particularly needing people in Cambridge and at centres like this in Luton. Someone who has donated here for years is Yvette. Today was her 16th visit.
I need to do this because I need to be helping people out, especially the fact being African Caribbean. And having the fact that there's a lot of sickle cell and stuff around there, I want to be able to help people, whether, it doesn't matter who you are, but I know that's where there are gaps for blood.
It's also the 17th donation for 24-year-old Brandon from Hitchin, who's happy to know he's making a difference.
When you do it, normally a few days later you get a text or an email to say where your blood has gone. So, whichever hospital or wherever it's kind of gone to, and it's quite a nice feeling. I think I'll try and sort of encourage my mates as much as I can to get down here.
You can check if you're eligible to give blood via the website. Donations usually take under an hour, and it can make a real difference, something Emma and her family are living proof of. Sophie Wiggins, ITV News in Luton.
Now, more than 11,000 more blood donors are needed in the West Midlands to save lives over the next year, with an urgent need for more donors from Black, African and Black Caribbean backgrounds. NHS Blood and Transport says it needs to recruit up to 1 million new donors nationally to ensure patients receive the right type of blood to save and improve their lives. We also need more younger donors to come forward, as Nancy Cole reports.
Carleen Scott from Solihull knows all too well the importance of blood donations because they keep her alive. Carleen has sickle cell disease, which is an inherited lifelong health condition. She receives blood exchanges every 4 weeks to help her manage her condition.
If you're constantly going in and out of hospital, it's not always, it's not the greatest, and it does kind of implode on your mental state at sometimes. But however, it's part of life, and that's what you get on with. Yes, I've got the condition, but guess what? I get on with it. That's the main thing for me, and be positive about it.
Sickle cell is the fastest growing blood disorder in the UK and mostly affects Black people with an African or Caribbean background. Black donors are more likely to have the rare blood type needed to provide the best match. It's why the NHS this week is calling for more people to come to places like this blood donation centre in Birmingham. In the next year in the West Midlands alone, over 11,000 new donors are needed.
There's been an increase in demand for a special blood group called RO, and it's used to treat people with sickle cell. This is found it's more likely to be found with people of Black African and Black Caribbean backgrounds. So we're asking people from those heritage to come forward and to give blood.
Blood donation generally takes up to an hour, but for those like Carleen, it's a gift that lasts much longer.
To me, that's a selfless act. And I feel like sometimes, selfless acts cost nothing, but they actually, save someone's life. And I think that's the most important thing. So I have, a full gratitude for them.
Nancy Cole, ITV News.
It's like someone is stabbing you, crushing your bones, stepping on you, driving a car over you. It's really excruciating.
The reality of living with sickle cell for Oyeshola One from West Bridgford in Nottingham. The disease is caused by a gene that affects how red blood cells develop. Though this medication helps manage her symptoms, she relies on blood transfusions, 8 pints at a time, to stay alive.
So every 5 weeks, I get hooked up to a machine that takes out my own blood and gives me fresh donor blood. 1 week after transfusion, you're like 100%. It's like a battery that is draining. 3 weeks, you're about 50, 45. And then the week before, you're nearing 25 and you're just waiting for the day to go into hospital. The pain is more intense. You can feel it everywhere.
Sickle cell is the fastest growing blood disorder in the UK, mostly affecting black people with an African or Caribbean background. Black donors are more likely to have the rare blood type needed to provide the best match. But with 10,000 new donors needed in the East Midlands alone from all blood types, it's why the NHS has launched a new 5-year strategy to get more people in centres like here in Nottingham.
Every single donation can save up to 3 lives, and so therefore you're directly saving and improving lives for people who've maybe had operations or accidents or who've got long-term health conditions.
It's my first time today, so yeah, and I've been meaning to do it for a while. It's not actually a big process. You just sit basically lie back for 10 minutes. I think that's why people should do it, because it's so easy. It doesn't take that much effort.
So I've done it 4 times. This is my 5th time. I just think that if you were ever in an emergency or in a situation where you'd want to have a blood transplant, you kind of should be able to donate blood if you can, if you're healthy enough.
Nationally, 1 million blood donors are needed over the next 5 years to save and improve lives. The process takes up to an hour, but for those in need, it's a gift that lasts much longer.
I describe blood donors as superheroes who don't wear capes because they are lifesavers, and we can't say thank you enough. So thank you to everyone that has given the gift of life.
Nancy Cole, ITV News.
Good evening. The NHS says it's vital more people come forward to donate blood to save lives here in the south. More than 14,000 new donors in our region alone are needed over the next 5 years.
The NHS is putting particular focus on finding black and Asian and younger donors as the health service tries to source some of its rarest blood types. James Dunham has our report.
Their blood is precious. Each person pumping out is potentially saving up to 3 lives. 3-year-old Aidan needed a transfusion after complications during his mum's pregnancy.
Without that blood, he wouldn't have survived or be alive today.
And now you wouldn't even know.
He wouldn't even know. He's a happy, cheeky chappy, enjoying being a 3-year-old, exploring the world around him. We're really grateful, obviously, to the team at Southampton, but also to the superheroes here behind us who are donating blood.
Many more superheroes are needed, not just at this centre in Southampton, but across the south. In Hampshire, the NHS say over 7,000 donors are required in the next 5 years and over 1,500 in Dorset. In particular demand, black, Asian and minority ethnic people with the rare RO blood subtype, often the best match for people with sickle cell, a condition affecting red blood cells.
The requirement for RO blood type is projected to nearly double, and what we know is that black and Asian minority ethnic donors are about 55% likely to have that blood group, whereas white Caucasian donors are only about 2.5% likely to have that blood group.
Start to finish, donors will spend around an hour in a centre like this. The actual process of taking the blood, which is around half a litre, lasts around 5 to 10 minutes. Donors are then given a chance to rest in the chair and given something sweet to eat.
This isn't going to have any effect on me, so it's just nice to kind of give back where you can.
I feel as though it's the right thing to do. Obviously people need blood and blood products, so yeah, it's the least I can do, I think, to help out.
I almost always encourage all my friends to do this because like we may not know when blood is necessary, so it can be life-saving for a lot of people. So it's really important that we have that in stock.
The NHS is trying to plan ahead. Recruiting enough donors will keep supplies moving to meet an increasing demand. James Dunham, ITV News, Southampton.
Thousands of new blood donors are needed in the south to help save lives. As National Blood Week gets underway, the Oxford Blood Donor Centre wants people to come forward and donate.
There's a focus on people from the Black African and Black Caribbean communities. One woman from Oxford who is a sickle cell patient has told us just how crucial regular transfusions are to her. She's been speaking to our reporter, Mark McQuillan.
For Stephanie Danso, blood donors are vital. She has a blood transfusion every 6 to 8 weeks, something she may well have to do for the rest of her life.
So this is my daily medication, just to kind of manage the condition, as I said.
Without the medication and regular blood transfusions, the 30-year-old from Oxford would be in chronic pain with sickle cell disease.
I feel like I'm being squeezed and then like knives being shoved into my chest, and literally just like I'm gasping for breath. I'm so grateful, you know, someone just taking that, I think it's what, half an hour just to give a bit of blood. It's what keeps me alive, and it's what allows me to have a quality of life as well and be able to live day to day.
That quality of life wouldn't be possible without donors like Melanie.
If you do start to feel lightheaded, hot, unusual, let one of us know straight away.
She's at the Oxford Blood Donor Centre giving blood for the first time in 14 years.
I hadn't realised that I was O negative, which is a type of blood that can be given to everyone, so our donations are quite important. So I thought now it's a bit more easier to book online, that it would be time to come back and get back into the swing of it.
Many more donors are needed though, 14,000 in the south, with a particular focus on specific communities.
We need the younger people to come and donate. We need the Black Africans and the Black Caribbeans community to come forward to donate, because they've got a 50% chance of having the RO subgroup, which is what we need to treat people with sickle cell disease.
A drive to increase the number and diversity of donors over the next 5 years is underway, giving those who need blood a chance to lead a better quality of life. Mark McQuillan, ITV News.